we are here to celebrate the great life of Dr. Tom Okurut. The great things he did. He touched the lives of each and every one of us.
Tom was born January 1960. He died on the 14th of April last year. That is close to 18 months since he passed on. He came to NEMA, became the executive director of NEMA. I think he had a very good time there. At the time of his demise, Okurut between 2021 to 2024, he was the executive director of climate change action.
And we are all united because of the late Tom Okurut.
Speaker after another praised the late Dr. Tom Okurut was a service beyond self, who loved his country, family and friends, initiating a number of projects to safeguard the country against environmental degradation.
Tom was good. Tom was so loving. Tom was a friend to everyone. Tom was so caring. And Tom was so, I don't know. He was everything. If you went there when annoyed, Tom would make you happy. That was what Tom was. And that's what everyone knows about Tom. We loved him. We still love him. Nevertheless, we still have to tow at the moon. What was so great and what is so great about the two was educating our children.
One thing I always remember from one of his famous adages, he always says the weather has spoken. So even if you build in a swamp, the weather will speak. The water knows where it's going to pass. So the weather will always speak. So listen to the earth. This is the earth that nurtures us. So that was his message.
I came to know Tom around 2006 when I was working at the Council for Science and Technology, trying to see how can we bring all the science that we know and transform them into things that are useful for people, like you said. And that time Tom was coming in as the ED of NEMA. So we worked very closely because you know that for you to talk about environment, you need to understand the science. And then to talk about how can we conserve the environment. You're talking about tree planting, irrigation. That is technology. So because of the work that Tom was doing and because what I was doing, we became very close.
I work in MOBS where Dr. Okurut served as a member of council for quite some time, and he did a very good job. Okurut was among those very distinguished academicians from TESO who are well known in Makerere. Those of you who come from Makerere University, you actually know the distinguished professors of Makerere University who hail from the greater TESO. I don't want to mention their names, but you know them very well. So Okurut was among those who contributed greatly to Makerere University, and we must thank him for that. Eventually, he found his way to Makerere University Business School in our council, and again did a very great professional job in strengthening council, strengthening the professional standards that are required for governance of our institution. And as Makerere University Business School, we indeed recognize him and also thank him for the contribution that he made to building our institution.
When he started our church, Dr. Okurut contributed towards the construction of the church. And that one shows you that what sort of heart does Okurut have. All that has been talked about Okurut, I am only endorsing. The poverty in that home, what Dr. Demon said, we saw that poverty. It was because of the link between us and our daughter.
We did environmental assessments. This popular oil and gas thing that great in the news, we were the first people to do the environment and social impact assessment, me and Dr. Okurut, the late. We went there in the bush to do the assessment of the sites for the prospectus. That Tom supported many people. He gave hope to many people. We want his legacy to live on. So why don't we start a foundation? A foundation for Dr. Okurut. Let it be a foundation that deals with helping the needy children, because he was always a positive thinker. Let people have hope. Legacy should live on. When we meet on a day like this, we know we have been in pain.
We are talking about environment. Our environment is doing bad.
The Minister of State for Disability Affairs, Honorable ASAMO Hellen Grace, says the spirit of Dr. Tom Okurut will never be happy about the current pollution and destruction to the environment.
And we must remember that when the fight for the Kavera was on, Dr. Okurut was on the forehead. Simple as he was. He tried his level-based. But we know what our country is. People say, no, let's take this microwatt, what. He said, this, I want this thing out. It spoils the soil. As you talk about his memory, make the Kavera get out of the country. Dr. Okurut had a dream of planting 1 million trees. Can that also be taken up? We were still alive in his memory. Whether we do it in Teso or we can begin somewhere. Instead of us coming here, Dr. Demoon, next time call us to plant trees in the memory of Dr. Okurut. He was bigger than the family.
The wife to the late Tom Okurut, Dr. Rose Ademon, says the love, care and support from His Excellency the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has kept the family moving even under difficult times.
I want to appreciate the President of Uganda for listening to me, loving me, appreciating my wisdom. He sometimes says, Ademon, how are you able to know everything? Because he has never asked a question that I have not been able to answer. He has never asked a calculation that he doubts which have been provided. Even I can assure you that I have even changed the data or statistics in this country by him asking me to do a calculation, and I have changed. So I want to say that I'm very proud of President Museveni for appreciating me, for listening to me. I want to appreciate my ministers, Honorable Tumwebaze, Honorable Ramirama, Honorable Adoa, and Honorable Buino. I want to appreciate my permanent secretary, Major General Kasura Chomukama David. Those are people who are keeping me there.
Now the family of Dr. Tom Okurut and fellow scholars and workmates are advocating for a Tom Okurut Memorial Day and reflecting on the measures to advocate for a safe environment.
But I think what inspires me most about Tom is that he was always very inspirational. He was a mentor. He was a beacon of unwavering strength. And that's what really I loved about him. My connection with Tom and the closeness was built around shared experiences. I recall one time I went to his home, which was in Chebando, because together with my wife we were planning to wed that year. And when I reached there, I found Rose at home. I said, Rose, I have news for you. I'm going to marry my wife, but there's a natural choice to chair our wedding meetings. That's Dr. Tom. She looked at me and laughed and said, sorry, Tom is not around.
Because Tom was a Christian. He loved Christianity. We dropped in this village and he went around looking for churches. He walks around. He's the person who is known in this village, not myself. I'm now struggling to try and move around to understand the people.
The family of the late Okurut. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Wambede, a resident of this place and also a very close neighbor of the late and the family now. First of all, his being in this place was through me. Because of that friendship we had, he asked me to look for a place. I think he was tired of Chebando, which is very close to the city. He wanted a quieter place. So I found, you saw a Haji here going out. I approached him and he sold him this place.
Dear members, as we celebrate the legacy of the late Papa, there is quite a lot. And within a very short time, we got to know he was a person who was focused, and he initiated some projects because of his love, particularly for the welfare of the students and the teachers.